So a lot of finger pointing. Let's talk to Lindy Lee, who served as surrogate for Kamala Harris as a member of the DNC Finance Committee. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. What do you make of the various explanations and finger pointing that's gone on?
Oh, Dan, I see so many of my fellow Democrats essentially labeling the entire country as racist and sexist and somehow just like bigots. And I don't think that's productive at all. To alienate the voters that you're trying to court is a very, very counterproductive strategy. Not only that, I see a lot of Democrats indulging in election conspiracies about how there were stolen votes, how machines were hacked, how the Russians...
That's the word. I mean, that's the word. That's just a fringe, though, right? The folks who are talking about the stolen stuff.
I don't know, man. I see it like they're flooding my comments with these theories. They're actually getting mad at me that I'm not constantly demanding recounts in Pennsylvania and Michigan, you know, the blue wall states. I don't think a lot of people are willing to accept the reality that Donald Trump won fair and square.
Key Democrats admit that the pro-gun vote definitely swayed the election in 2024. But at the same time, Democrat governors are doubling down on attacking Second Amendment rights. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel-like content, what I do here, you can support me. The link, everything is appreciated. And once again, comments, I have to keep mentioning this. There's a crackdown on gun-related channels due to YouTube's new policy. So if your comment disappears, I'm not doing it. But if I take away your comment, I will let you know that I did it. But let's talk about this. And we got, we're kind of fold two stories into this. It's coming off the 2024 election. We got key Democrats, the establishment, oligarchy, who are admitting that, yes, the pro-gun vote definitely helped Trump win. And also, I want to talk a little bit about Democrats in anti-gun states who are now doubling down and attacking the Second Amendment in fear of what Trump might do when he gets into office. But Nancy Pelosi did an interview with the Times and stated that the pro-gun vote definitely had an impact on the election. And in the interview, she stated that cultural issues played an important role in the 2024 election. The reporter Garcia Navarro asked the former House Speaker, why did voters who earn less than $100,000 go for Trump in such large numbers? Pelosi responded in part, well, there are cultural issues involved in elections as well. Guns, that's an issue. Now, yes and no. Yes, freedom definitely played a part. Having your rights attacked played a part. But these people are kind of deflecting a little bit. People who are making under $100,000 also put the economy as the main push to vote in another direction. It could be, you could say, yes, culturally it could be guns, but it's also people's pocketbooks were hurting. I think that had more of an effect. But Hillary Clinton stated, when she lost in 2016, to echo that. She said, pointing out the grassroots power of gun rights supporters, Clinton explained, the politics of guns has been toxic for a long time. The vocal majority of voters against gun safety laws have been historically more organized, better funded, and more willing to vote single issue votes. Once again, I argue that the 2024 election wasn't necessarily a single issue vote. There were a whole lot of things, a whole lot of problems that have been created by the sitting administration that people just disliked in general. But discussing NRA contribution to her defeat, Clinton noted, as for the NRA, it kept its promise to do everything it could to stop me. All told, the gun lobby spent more than $30 million supporting Trump, more money than any other outside group, and more than double what it spent to support Mitt Romney in 2012. 2/3 of that money paid for more than 10,000 negative ads attacking me in battleground states. I'm coming out of that. Now, here's the thing. Clinton was a bad candidate, period. She was a bad candidate, just like Kamala Harris was a bad candidate. But Clinton has always been on this roll since she lost in 2016 that it was stolen from her and on and on and on. But she was a bad candidate regardless of the money that was spent. So that's her cope in dealing with her loss, which she still has not to this day gotten over. But another thing I want to talk about is that anti-gun states are doubling down on attacking the Second Amendment. But this is something I expected. If Trump wins, these anti-gun states are going to double down. And it's the usual players. Hochul, New York, Newsom, California, Pritzker in Illinois, and Healy in Massachusetts. They are all coming out and saying, we are going to double down on our rhetoric because Trump is coming into office, especially when it comes to gun rights, because they are afraid of what Trump might do to undermine their gun safety laws that they have in place, which we all know is nothing more than gun control. Because when you pass a law that tells good people what they can and cannot do, has nothing to do with safety. Okay, that's gun control. They just rebranded it to make it sound more palatable. But Kathy Hochul stated that if you're voting for these Republicans in New York, you are voting for someone who supports Donald Trump, and you are anti-woman, you're anti-abortion, and basically you're anti-American. After the election day results came in, Governor Hochul doubled down. The governor convened a team of experts to develop strategies for protecting her state from policy threats they think could emerge under Trump, according to The Hill. That specifically included gun rights. She announced at a media event press conference alongside George Soros-funded soft-gun crime attorney general Letitia James. The double down isn't surprising after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down New York's unconstitutional gun control laws in their landmark 2022 Bruin decision. Now, if you remember, when they struck down the process to obtain a permit under Bruin, Hochul immediately, they all got together and started creating all these massive safe zones all throughout New York. Those also got struck down. So you can expect her to try to do something else, and a whole lot more, if Trump starts to come after them concerning gun rights. Illinois, Pritzker, he famously said, if you come for my people, you come through me. That's very interesting. He's a pretty big dude, so coming through him would be pretty difficult. But as you know, Pritzker is huge on gun control. He passed the assault weapons ban. He has done a number of things in that state to once again hamper law-abiding citizens, because it damn sure hasn't pushed crime down. Maura Healey in Massachusetts said, if it's contrary to our values, we will fight to the death. I'd like to know what that means, but there it is. And of course, not to be left out, Newsom said he is ready to fight the upcoming Trump administration and instead called a special legislative session to safeguard the state's progressive policies. He's disguising his gun control for progressive policies, because we know that a lot of what he's going to do is to once again double down and hammer down on keeping all the unconstitutional laws that he has passed against gun owners in his state. All of these governors don't seem to realize one thing. Every single one of those states, Trump did better when it came to total votes than any other Republican in modern history. Which means their very blue states are drifting towards becoming purple. Yet, ignoring that and ignoring the will of the people, they're going to double down and once again try to circumvent anything that Trump may do, especially when it comes to gun rights. Remember, I spoke on the national reciprocity of it potentially becoming real, because Trump once again said, I'm going to pass this.
Seventh, I will protect the right of self-defense everywhere it is under siege, and I will sign concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line.
As I said in the video I did about that national reciprocity, I stated that anti-gun states are not going to be on board with this, period. And I expect that to happen. But I'm still waiting to see, and this is of course going to be a bigger issue, is when one of these assault weapons ban cases makes it to the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court says it's unconstitutional, expect these states to immediately pass legislation that will circumvent the Supreme Court's ruling, just like New York did with Brewer. Be ready for it, because it's going to happen. I go even further to say that once one of these cases actually gets to the court and the court is actually hearing it, I expect these states to start pushing through very quickly legislation that will then nullify the Supreme Court's ruling. I fully expect them to do it. What the Democrats refuse to do is reflect. They deflect, blame, and point fingers, but they don't reflect. It is their own behavior that led to Trump winning. Period. They put up a bad candidate in Kamala Harris who did not win through the Democrat process. They literally installed her as a candidate, created fake support for her, and then literally tried to downplay her past rhetoric from 2019. We all knew what she was about. And the election was literally a referendum on that whole entire scheme. Democrats did this to themselves. If they could reflect on that, they could probably do better in the future. But as a fiscal and social conservative, I hope they keep doing the same thing, because it will guarantee losses in the future. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.